Welcome to E-Taragati, Education Digitalized. So, Ivala, let us begin our daily Hindu newspaper analysis from 21st of August 2020. So, I hope under preparation is going on well and you're able to correlate the current affairs asked every day with the static portion. And hopefully, you're taking full use of this free benefit course which we are giving YouTube lo freega. And I request you to please like, share, and subscribe the video because soon, eTaragati, we are planning to launch live courses, live classes on YouTube, especially Group 1, Group 2 examinations కోసం. We are planning to launch live classes where the important aspects and the important ట్రెండ్స్ ఏవైతే ఎగ్జామ్లో ఉన్నాయో లేకపోతే ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్స్ ఏవైతే నుంచో repetitive క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తున్నాయో డైరెక్ట్ సిలబస్ నుంచి విల్ హ్యావ్ లైవ్ క్లాసెస్. And YouTube allows live classes only if there are 1,000 subscribers. So we request you to please subscribe to the channel soon and hopefully we can make 2,000 subscribers very soon so that we can start our live classes program. And coming back to today's newspaper analysis, let us begin with the first article. The first article is actually a happy news for people of Andhra Pradesh and Vijayawada. Vijayawada has secured the fourth rank in the Swachh Sarvekshan ranking ఆఫ్ అర్బన్ ఏదైతే స్వచ్ఛ భారత్ మిషన్ అర్బన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాంట్లో నేషన్ వైడ్ ర్యాంకింగ్లో విజయవాడ has secured fourth rank and it has also secured India's cleanest big city award. And Tirupati has been best self-sustainable small city. And you can see more facts. మీకు డైరెక్ట్ గ్రూప్ 1 గ్రూప్ 2 ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్లో ప్రిలిమ్స్ డైరెక్ట్ ల్యాండ్ బిట్స్ వస్తాయి. With 3 of its cities ranked in top 10 of the country, AP has topped the southern states with more than 100 local bodies ఏవైతే స్టేట్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఇన్ ద స్వచ్ సర్వేక్షణ్ ర్యాంకింగ్లో సౌత్ స్టేట్స్లో ఏపీ టాప్లో వచ్చింది. అండ్ ఓవరాల్ ఆన్ ద హోల్ ఏపీ ఇస్ సిక్స్త్ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చింది. You can see as AP scored sixth and Chhattisgarh actually has scored the highest. And we have seen Vijayawada, Tirupati and Vizag, they have bagged places in the top 10 best performing cities. And in the top nationwide ranking, Vijayawada has got the fourth rank. So you can see AP cities among 25 cities with more than 1 lakh population ranked, Vijayawada and Tirupati, Visakhapatnam kuda, they have been ranked very high. And nationwide chuste, this is given actually in page 8 and in E-Taragati, that is the advantage we have. We can read a topic holistically with proper linkages. So in the fourth year, Indore has been ranked the cleanest city. ఎప్పటి నుంచి అయితే స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ స్టార్ట్ అయిందో అప్పటి నుంచి ఇందోర్కే టాప్ ర్యాంక్ వస్తుంది. అండ్ ఈసారి కూడా ఇందోర్ హెస్ బిన్ అడ్జడ్జ్డ్ యాజ్ ద క్లీనెస్ట్ సిటీ అండ్ దిస్ హెస్ బిన్ డన్ ఓవర్ 4,000 cities over the last 28 days earlier this year. And the ministry, the minister, Mr. Harshdeep Puri, they also released through a virtual event. And you can see here, Harshdeep Puri has said that it has become the world's largest sanitation survey, with 1 crore citizens giving their feedback. And you can see Indore is number 1, followed by Surat, Navi Mumbai, Ambikapur, Mysore, Vijayawada, Edithe we have seen, Ahmedabad, New Delhi, and so on. And state-wise usage, Chhattisgarh has been ranked the highest. And in Ganga towns, ఒక వేరే category ఉంది, Ganga towns, Varanasi has been ranked the cleanest. And cantonments lo Jalandhar has been ranked. New Delhi is the capitals lo చూస్తే New Delhi is the cleanest. So Mr. Harshdeep Puri has also talked of the deep impact of health, livelihood, quality of life, behavior. All of these come in handy when dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. And he has noted that when the mission was launched, the waste processing India low, it was 18%. It was so low, మనకి 18% waste processing ఉండేది countryలో. Now it has grown up to 66%. Okay, so 18% ఏదైతే ఉందో it has grown to 66%. you should write such facts when there are questions on Swachh Bharat mission or even solid waste management or waste processing అన్నప్పుడు some positive sign లో ఇలా రాయాలి. అండ్ ఈవెన్ అసలు స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ కూడా 73 cities ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇట్ హాస్ గ్రోన్ టు 4,000 cities ఇప్పుడు, 62 cantonment boards and 97 Ganga towns and so on. 1.8 crore feedback వచ్చింది that we have seen. And soon there shall be SBM 2.0 which will be finalized before the end of the current phase, and the goal would be making the cities open defecation free to include 100% sludge management and zero dumping of waste in the open. So that is the whole article. And asal Swachh Sarvekshan ante enti? Let us see a brief background. As we have seen here, the Ministry of Urban Development takes up the Swachh Sarvekshan in urban areas, and rural areas lo Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation actually takes part. Of course, it is the Ministry of Jal Shakti now, but traditionally the Ministry of MODWS has been taking up in the rural areas. Please note this. Urban areas ki the Ministry of Urban Development, and rural areas ki drinking water department, a ministry. And the Quality Council of India is responsible for carrying out the assessment. The assessment edaithe QCI will take care of it. And this is the world's largest, as we have seen, it covers 4,000 cities, and it was rolled out 4 years ago as the answer to a problem for municipal law failed to solve. It is completely digitized and a paperless survey. This is again an important point. It's completely digitized. అంటే మీకు ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, వాట్ ఇస్ స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ అని ఇచ్చి, వాట్ ఇస్ స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చి, దిల్ బీ పార్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. 1 దాన్ని డిస్క్రైబ్ చేసుకుంటూ, 2 ఇంకొక పార్ట్ ఇస్తూ, 3 ఇంకోటి ఇస్తూ, అండ్ ఇక్కడ దే మైట్ బీ సంథింగ్ లైక్ మినిస్ట్రీ ఆఫ్ రూరల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ టేక్స్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ద స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ in rural areas. So that would be wrong. So such comprehensive understanding is required for answering UPSC and prelims questions. సో అసలు సర్వే ఎందుకు పెట్టారు? ఎందుకంటే శానిటేషన్ అండ్ పబ్లిక్ హెల్త్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో దే ఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ ద రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ద స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్స్. అండ్ అందరికీ తెలిసిన విషయం ఏంటంటే, in managing the growing volumes of municipal and hazardous waste, the states have failed. And the problem, it has been compounded because of there are no holistic plans of housing, sanitation, water supply, waste management, ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్, ఇలా అన్నిటినీ కలుపుకుంటూ ఒక హోలిస్టిక్ అప్రోచ్ ఇండియాలో లేదు. అందుకనే ఈ స్వచ్ఛ సర్వేక్షణ ఏదైతే చేసి దాని నుంచి ఒక ఈవెన్ స్టేట్స్ కూడా ఒక కాంపిటేటివ్ స్పిరిట్లో దే ర్యాంక్ ఈచ్ అదర్ అండ్ దే ట్రై టు డెవలప్ దేర్ ఓన్ గుడ్ సిటీస్. And looking ahead for the next edition, the MAHUA has identified, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they have identified that 100% processing and sludge and safe disposal of waste would be the future target. Complete fecal sludge and septage management, and wastewater treatment and reuse. This is basically the Swachh Bharat 2.0, which we discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so that is the ambitious plan. And the ministry, it has also sanctioned funds under the Amrit scheme to help states set up facilities necessary to manage the waste. So this is our holistic understanding of the Swachh Sarvekshan. And Amrit Mission, I hope you people are aware, it is for 500 cities in India. And దీని నుంచి మన డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్ ఏదైతే డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్ కాదు, ఐమ్ సారీ, వాటర్ సప్లై, అలాగే పబ్లిక్ ఎమ్యూనిటీస్, and also something like non-motorized transport systems. ఇవన్నీ దే కమ్ అండర్ బేసిక్లీ ద అర్బన్ డెవలప్మెంట్, అండ్ ఇక్కడ మనకి యూస్ఫుల్ వస్తాయి అమృత్ స్కీమ్లో. దిస్ ఆర్ ద ఫోకస్ ఆఫ్ ద అమృత్ స్కీమ్. దీస్ దే ఆర్ ఇన్ 500 cities. We have another scheme, the Smart Cities Mission, that is also for urban development, but Dani purview is slightly different because that is basically to modernize the cities in terms of the డిజిటల్ యూనో డిజిటల్ ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ ఇస్తూ ఫర్ కంప్లీట్ ఇంటర్నెట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ టైప్ యూస్ చేస్తూ అండ్ అది కూడా ఒక రెట్రో డెవలప్మెంట్ రెట్రో ఫిట్టింగ్ సిటీస్ డెవలప్ చేస్తూ అండ్ బట్ అది మొత్తం సిటీ ఏదైతే ఉందో మొత్తం సిటీలో ఉండదు స్మార్ట్ సిటీస్ మిషన్. అదొక పర్టిక్యులర్ ఏరియాలో ఇట్ వుడ్ బి టేకెన్ అప్. బట్ అమృత్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇట్ ఫోకసెస్ ఆన్ ద ఎంటైర్ సిటీ. So the next, let us come now to the AP specific news from today's newspaper, the important news I felt. We have two articles related to governance in AP. So this will be directly useful for the GS3 ఎక్కడైతే గవర్నెన్స్ ఉందో అండ్ GS4 ఇది నేను ఏపీపీఎస్సిలో మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. GS4లో వేర్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఏపీ గవర్నెన్స్ అండ్ ఎకానమీ. ఈ రెండిట్లో మనకి దిస్ విల్ బి డైరెక్ట్లీ యూస్ఫుల్. ఓకే, అండ్ the first thing is um, the Honorable Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy. He has launched the Andhra Pradesh Tourism Online Trade Reservation web portal. So a web portal launch చేశారు. It's not very important, but soon a new tourism policy would be launched in a few days. Actually, it has been being said in a few days. A new tourism policy would be launched. So దానికి ఇది ఒక prelude లాంటిది. And soon we shall discuss in these videos itself. We shall discuss the tourism policy, and as a prelude, the CM has told that the tourism policy should be investor friendly and should attract people interested in putting their money in the state to create infrastructure and set up the projects. So if you see the అంటే ఇదంతా మనకి హింట్స్ ఇస్తున్నారు పాలసీలు ఎలాంటివి ఉంటాయో. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, there would be world class infrastructure facilities in Araku region. And the CM also suggested institution offering training in hospitality management. And the CM has stressed on accountability and transparency in utilizing government funds, and how to rope in, prominent companies in hospitality sector and seven-star hotels. Ivanni we shall be seeing in the AP tourism policy, which will be released soon. And the next article we have the YSR Cheyuta. ఏదైతే yesterday cabinet ఆమోదించిందో స్టేట్ క్యాబినెట్, దాని గురించి వైఎస్ఆర్ చేయూత స్కీమ్ into, I hope you are aware, it is basically to help it is basically given as a financial assistance to women at Cheyuta, and this is mostly focused for development of SHGs and Dwakras ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో in the state, వాటికి వైఎస్ఆర్ చేయూత would be useful. Like you can see here, a financial assistance of 18,000 will be given to 25 lakh women aged from 45 to 60 and hailing from the SC, ST, BC communities. This scheme, we also have ISR Asra scheme and many other schemes. Yesterday we had discussed this at length. So people who are watching this video first time, please watch yesterday's, the 20th August video. And as part of implementation YS Cheyuta scheme, government ippudu it has forged partnerships with Reliance Retail, Reliance Jio Infocom and Allana Group, so that దీంతో ఒక conducive business environment తయారవుతుంది and capital support, market linkages, skill enhancement ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఇంప్రూవ్ అవుతాయి. Already government has roped in Amul, HUL, ITC and PNG. Last week ఏదైతే చూసాం for dairy sector actually are the highest beneficiaries of YSR Cheyuta are present. And Reliance Retail ఏదైతే ఉందో it will support by Jio Mart Kirana stores, and Jio Infocom will establish direct linkage. దీనికి specific name ఇంకా రాలేదు. Allana Group will help in beneficiaries for rearing buffaloes, sheep, goats and so on. So that is the implementation of YSR Cheyuta. Next, we have an slightly important news article for the APPSC preliminary type of examinations. ఇప్పుడు గోదావరి ఫ్లడ్స్ ఏవైతే మనకి ఎఫెక్ట్ అవ్వడం జరిగిందో అండ్ ఏదైతే మనం ప్రాపర్లీ డిస్కస్ చేసామో డిజాస్టర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్లో ఓవర్ ద లాస్ట్ ఫ్యూ డేస్, ఆ డిజాస్టర్ తర్వాత we have seen the inundation of 20 tiny habitats of near threatened blackbuck and deer. So the animals they have entered the human habitations now. ఎందుకంటే ఈ శాండ్ డ్యూన్స్ విత్ గ్రాస్ లెన్స్ డౌన్ స్ట్రీమ్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో దే ఆర్ ద ప్రైమ్ హ్యాబిటాట్స్ ఆఫ్ బ్లాక్ బక్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్టికల్. బ్లాక్ బక్ ఏదైతే మీరు ఇక్కడ చూస్తున్నారో ఇది పాపం మన హ్యూమన్ హ్యాబిటేషన్స్ ఎంటర్ అయిపోయింది. అండ్ దీని హ్యాబిటాట్ ఏదైతే ద శాండ్ డ్యూన్స్ విత్ గ్రాస్ ల్యాండ్స్ డౌన్ స్ట్రీమ్ ఇది. అండ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ సైటెడ్ ఇన్ ద శాండ్ డ్యూన్స్ ఆన్ ద ఐలాండ్స్ ఆఫ్ బ్రాంచెస్ ఆఫ్ గోదావరి. And this is also near threatened black buck. So this is in news. So there might be question regarding the IUCN status. This is the IUCN status, right? There can be question on the IUCN status or the habitat and so on. Nothing more important in the article. There is of course a deer and the black buck will return to their habitats once the floodwater recede. And the change in habitat is not advisable as the deer it is a timid and sensitive species. So you just remember that the black buck is near threatened and the habitat is sand dune with grasslands. Next, let us come back that APPSC related AP news ante undi ivala, not a very important news today. The next, let us come to the editorials. This is a very good editorial on yesterday's ఏదైతే నేషనల్ రిక్రూట్మెంట్ ఏజెన్సీ వచ్చిందో దాని మీద మన ఎడిటోరియల్ ఇవాళ ఇచ్చారు. Like yesterday, we have seen the Union Cabinet's decision to create a national recruitment agency. Yesterday we have seen కదా నేషనల్ రిక్రూట్మెంట్ ఏజెన్సీ ఒకటి సెంట్రల్ లెవెల్లో పెడతారు. it will conduct a common entrance test for all the Group B and Group C posts for the non-gazetted jobs. Like it would eliminate the need for candidates to take separate examinations, and ఇప్పుడు presently 3 examinations కి అప్రూవ్ చేశారు కదా, which are the Railway Recruitment Board, the Staff Selection Commission, and the IBPS. Railway Recruitment Board ఏదైతే రైల్వేస్ రిలేటెడ్ ఉందో, SSC ఏదైతే గవర్నమెంట్ సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫీసెస్లో క్లరికల్ పోస్ట్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో, అండ్ IBPS బ్యాంకింగ్ పర్సనల్ ఆల్ కామన్ బ్యాంక్స్ ఏదైతే ఉంటాయి. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇప్పుడు IBPS నోటిఫికేషన్ మొన్న వచ్చింది. ఐ థింక్ దిస్ వుడ్ బి ద లాస్ట్ ప్రాపర్ స్టాండ్ అలోన్ IBPS notification. The last date is August 26th. So if any candidates are interested, please apply because soon they'll have a NRA and anta deen kinda vachesi. So if you're interested for IBPS, please apply soon. And please continue to watch our videos also where we are connecting all the current affairs, even important for banking examination kuda, preliminary type of which we are connecting. And for some years, the railways has been using contractual labor in projects and services, but government obviously it remains a major recruiter. Actually, in March, few months back, in March, the Railway Minister Piyush Goyal he had told the Parliament in a start question that 4 employment notifications for Group C employees were issued in 2019 for 1.43 lakh posts. And similarly, even previous year lo kuda anne posts ki notification వచ్చింది. And overall, if you see the posts coming under the ambit of proposed NRA would cover 1.25 lakh jobs a year, which would typically attract 2.5 crore aspirants. So actually yesterday article it has been mentioned that 2.5 to 3 crores it would be covered. You can see the article here. This is yesterday's article which we discussed, and 2.5 to 3 crore candidates who applied for 1.25 Group B, Group C jobs, they would have this NRA. Okay, CET to it has been told yesterday, and ikkad nunchi I was saying that the RRB, Staff Selection Commission, IBPS would be involved in this. And through the common eligibility test, the candidates appear once and apply into any of the recruited agencies for the higher level examinations. So since this is Group B and Group C, I'm not sure, I don't think that UPSC and other gazetted posts would be covered here. But ఏదైతే నార్మల్ పోస్ట్స్ ఉంటాయో Group B, Group C, you can see here non-gazetted officers, they would come under the NR. Anyway, let us come back to our analysis. Hindu editorial analysis ఏదైతే చేస్తున్నారో, they're saying that the gains from a single exam which is offered at a district level in the regional language as opposed to multiplicity tests are self-evident because the candidates ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో, they don't have to travel to urban centers, and opportunities to improve their performance subject to age limits and 3-year validity of scores are positive features. సో ఈ స్కోర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దీనికి 3-year వ్యాలిడిటీ ఉంటుంది. And the long-term relevance of such reforms will depend on the commitment of governments to raise the level of public employment and services to public. సో ఈ ఎగ్జామ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లెవెల్లో పెడతారు అండ్ అది నేటివ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో పెడతారు. ఇనిషియలీ దే ఆర్ ప్లానింగ్ దట్ ఇట్ వుడ్ బి డన్ ఇన్ 12 లాంగ్వేజెస్, బట్ సూన్ షెడ్యూల్ 8లో ఉండే లాంగ్వేజెస్ అన్నిటినీ కవర్ చేస్తారని yesterday it has been announced, and it will have a 3-year validity. This is the most important part. Score ఏదైతే ఉందో, like IELTS score ఏదైతే internationally, that is the method, that score would be valid for 3 years. And this is actually not a new announcement. It was there in the budget speech itself, February budget speech lo. The finance minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, she had told that the NRA would be independent professional specialist organization, and there would be emphasis on creating advanced online testing feature in the 117 aspirational districts. 117 with aspirational districts in line under the aspirational districts program with low social development indices. There also there would be the advanced online testing infrastructure. So all these are definitely good objectives, and here more than analysis I'm trying to stress out the factual points because they would be important for the examination and also for the daily lives. Like aspirants ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో, if they're planning attempts next year, this is definitely a game changer for you. And it is relevant to point out, as a share of the organized workforce, the central government employment is decreasing. ఇప్పుడు analysis act, because new posts are sanctioned periodically, but a large number of vacancies remain unfilled. And there is a growing emphasis, like we have seen last year and this year, they have been growing. You can see the steps taken to transferring the core railway services to private sector. So there may be fewer government jobs. And moreover, the jobs under center are mostly in railways and defense sectors, which constitute to 14% of the public employment. So reform must have a wider reach to achieve scale, and the recruitment must be marked by well-defined practices, wide publicity, open competition. అండ్ దీని పాజిటివ్స్ మళ్ళీ ఏదైతే చూడడం జరుగుతుందో, ఎన్ఆర్ఏ కెన్ కట్ ద డిలేస్ విచ్ ఆర్ ఫెమిలియర్ ఫీచర్ విత్ ద గవర్నమెంట్, దే కెన్ బూస్ట్ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ and they can have a wider access. So the entire process of candidate selection must be a model raising the bar for speed, efficiency and integrity. That is the whole editorial. NRA ki background istu, they have focused on the positive and negative aspects. Actually, this can be also a model answer. You know, like Ninna, we had a question. We discussed a question like, how far do you think that the NRA would be successful in meeting the government job employment in the country, and central job government? So daniki this is a model answer, I feel. That's why I discussed this at length. It's a very good article, and you can also understand the how to write an essay or how to write answer writing for the exam, for the mains examinations. So this is the background. This is actually yesterday's article I had put here so that you'll get a proper background, and idi manapudi discuss yourself. Next editorial is the marriage age misconception. This is a very, I felt, very conceptual article and very deeply analyzed article. We shall see it now. Recently, Independence Day speech lo, the Prime Minister has declared that the government is considering to raise the legal age of marriage of girls. Currently at 18 years only, and the Prime Minister has said, we have formed a committee to ensure that our daughters are no longer suffering from malnutrition and they are married at the right age. So as soon as the report is submitted, appropriate decisions will be taken about the marriage age of the daughters. And this was set up. A task force was actually set up in June 4th, uh, announced earlier by the finance minister in budget. And it is widely, as per as the rumors, they're saying that the minimum age ఇప్పుడు 18 ఏదైతే ఉందో it would be increased to 21, bringing on par with the men. Men age ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాలో 21, women 18, సో ఇద్దరిని ఈక్వల్ చేస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే the logic is the government seems to be motivated that simply raising the age of marriage is the best way to improve health and nutritional status of mothers and their infants. But the author, she's actually a professor at the Center of Women Development Studies. So she's saying that there is several evidence to show that this would not help for population control. Because one plausible source is the Lancet Child and Adolescent Health. దీంట్లో ఏంటన్నారంటే it is actually funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The article analyzes data on stunting in children and thinness in mothers. Stunting is basically underweight with respect to height. Weight, height parameters చూస్తే అప్పుడు stunting. And similarly, thinness of mothers as measure of undernourishment. NFHS family survey చూస్తూ the paper has been saying that the strength of the association between many causal factors like mother's age, living conditions, health conditions, and the health status of the mother, there's a direct correlation. And e-analysis law, it has been told that you can see here poverty. The poverty of the mother plays the greatest role, both in relation to her undernourishment of her and the child. And the authors they make several analysis, like for example, becoming pregnant early, so reduced education wealth ఉంటుంది, and women from a poorer background might they can they're more likely to get pregnant early. So early pregnancy తో malnourishment and poverty వస్తుంది అని they're saying. So they should break the intergenerational cycle of undernutrition. Surely the best way of breaking such a cycle would to pick factors which play a strongest role in perpetuating it. And ikkada we should address the poverty of the mother and we should raise the nutritional standard. But దాని criticism ఏంటంటే the authors they have chosen to concentrate on delaying the age of pregnancy, even though this is the weakest link of all. In fact, age only begins with real significance when pregnancies are delayed to ages of 25 and above. And that is definitely a small proportion of women in India. So it is unfortunate that such thinking has affected the highest office in Indian government. Because this is where the article actually makes a breakthrough. Uh, before a child is born, this is what the Prime Minister has told, before a child is born in our home, we must ask ourselves, are we prepared to fulfill the child's needs? Or are we going to leave the child to its fate? Now, here the Prime Minister didn't, I mean, the author is saying they did not consider the advice of our own demographers. This is where the article makes a breakthrough. It can be a very good value addition for GS1 answers in UPSC or even sociology optional people, because they have been studying the link between early marriage and escalating fertility rates for decades. And as it turns out, the fertility rates in India, they've actually been declining to well below replacement rates in many states, especially south states. The fertility rates have been declining in India, south states. And the average fertility rate in India is presently 2.4, and the replacement rate ఏదైతే ఉందో అది 2.1. So we are very close to getting the 2.1. So fertility rate already tagutundi, and this could be the reason why the demographers they are saying from the fueling they are saying that the focus should be more on the nutrition aspect of the women and children more than just decreasing the population, because raising the age of marriage by amending law is costless and can be effortlessly achieved by legal fiat. Legal ఒక law తెస్తే సరిపోతుంది. But the government will not incur any financial cost for raising the age of marriage. But the change will leave the vast majority of Indian women who marry before they are 21 without legal protection that the institution of marriage otherwise provides and makes their family criminalizable. So those who fervently believe that minimum age should be same in the name of gender equality, it can suggest that India follow global norms of 18 years for both. ఇద్దరికి 18 years పెడితే సరిపోతుందని the author is feeling. Because given the present climate, it could even be that this move is partly prompted by vague belief of child marriage is most prominent among Muslims, and there's a political thinking also here. And if you see ఏదైతే చూస్తే Jammu and Kashmir, Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur and Goa the higher mean is actually more than 25 years, which are supposedly um, non-Hindu dominant states. So Jammu and Kashmir, which is a Muslim majority state, వాళ్ళకి the mean age is actually more than 25 years. So that prejudice is wrong. That Muslim families there are early child marriages. So that is the gist of the article. This generally మీకు సింపుల్ వర్డ్స్ చెప్పాలంటే జనరలీ మనం మ్యారేజ్ ఏజ్ పెంచితే న్యూట్రిషన్ స్టేటస్ అది పెరిగి బెటర్ ఫోకస్ ఉంటుంది విమెన్ అండ్ చైల్డ్ పైన. బట్ ద ఆర్టికల్లో ద ఆథర్ హెస్ బిన్ హైలైటెడ్ దట్ ఇండియాలో ద fertility rate is already reaching 2.1. So at this point, the focus shouldn't be on booming population. It should be more on understanding the undernourishment of children. So ప్రధాన మంత్రి పోషణ్ అభియాన్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో మనకి విమెన్ అండ్ చైల్డ్ న్యూట్రిషన్ ఎలా అయితే పెంచాలో దట్ షుడ్ బి ద మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. ఈవెన్ ద ఎకనామిక్ సర్వే ఆఫ్ 2019 it has focused on this aspect only. Economic survey has also focused that ఇప్పుడు the issue should not be on population control. It should be more on education, health, and skilling. Okay, so this is where there will be a difference between a normal examination or a UPSC type of thinking which is required. That generally, of course, మన చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చదువుతున్నాం, the population has been rising in India and there are issues, the poverty issue and all. But this is where we should go deeper of focusing on not just population but educating health and skill, because the replacement rates are about to be reached in India. So this I found it's a very insightful article, and I would urge you to make good notes from this article. The next is the famous Sputnik vaccine, which has been making rounds for the last 1 week. You can see here, 1 week after the Russian President Vladimir Putin, he has announced that Russia ఏదైతే డెవలప్ చేసిందో ఫస్ట్ వ్యాక్సిన్ టు కాంబాట్ COVID-19, the CEO of Russian Direct Investment Fund. So they have created the vaccine Sputnik 5 and they're saying that it will be made available in India. So how did Russia approach WHO for its pre-qualification? Mr. Kirill Dmitriev says that Russia got a head start because they were already working on the MERS vaccine, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome ఏదైతే ఉందో, it was getting ready, and COVID-19 is 80% similar to MERS. So we were able to use a very safe approach, and clinical trials demonstrated 100% of volunteers developed immunity within 21 days. And after second vaccination, the immunity response was further boosted and provided for long-lasting immunity. And he's actually saying that he himself, his wife, and his parents were 74 years of age. They also took vaccine at their parents. And ikkada, some factual information is the high efficacy is confirmed by the high precision test for antibodies in the blood serum of volunteers, as well as the ability of immune cells of volunteers to activate in response to the spike S protein of coronavirus. Coronavirus proteins that we discussed, దాంట్లో spike S protein ఉంది, and the immune cells they could activate in response to this protein. Okay, please remember the spike S protein of coronavirus. And E protein paina Sputnik has been acting. You can remember SS S for Spike is S for Sputnik. Okay, and the vaccine has received a registration certificate from the Russian Ministry of Health on August 11th, and most nations are actually welcomed it and they're working on studying it. So there are some things, and this is the safest mechanism for introducing the genetic code antunaru, and it will not have any impact on fertility and carcinogenic effects kuda. And also, they also proposed using two different types of adenoviral vectors, AD5 and AD26, for the first and second vaccination. So దీంతో immunity of one type of vector after the first intake would be done. And India context look వస్తే India has been definitely a strategic partner for Russia in many sectors. So the RDIF, and the Russian Direct Investment Fund, has been collaborating with Indian companies since 2012. So it has strongly developed local pharma industry and let Russia see India as a potential hub. So we will be making the vaccine available for India and other countries. So they have told. So let us see when, as soon we can take into Sputnik and fight the COVID pandemic. Next is a small news from the IR section. This is basically, I actually didn't want, there's another article on India, China, but there was nothing substantial and it was a ball by ball commentary. But ikkada, there is something important because India and Bangladesh, they will monitor their projects and there will be a joint mechanism in Antnar, where both sides agreed to jointly deal with border killings and establish a close partnership with the COVID-19 crisis. So monitoring mechanism they would monitor these projects. These I wanted to highlight. Preliminary examinations lo ilan factual questions రావచ్చు. This is Rampal Maitri power plant, India Bangladesh friendship pipeline, and rail links between Akhaura Agartala and Chilahati Haldibari Khulna Mongla railway line, which are completed by 2021. So which of these are projects anichi ivichi ivi kaanvi konni ivachu. So alantappudu you should remember this. Rampal Maitri Power Project, India Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline, rail links between Akhorabad, Agartala, Chilahati, Haldibari, Khulna, Mongla. Okay. The last article for today is yesterday the RBI has declared and released a national strategy for financial education document, and it has recommended, basically day before yesterday, I'm sorry, on Tuesday, and it has recommended a 5C approach for dissemination of financial education. సో ఫైనాన్షియల్ లిటరసీ, ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఏదైతే ఇప్పుడు కంట్రీలో బజ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయో వీటి కోసం దేర్ వుడ్ బి 5C అప్రోచ్, విచ్ ఆర్ ద రిలవెంట్ కరిక్యులం, colleges and training establishment, capacity development among intermediaries, community-led model, and collaboration among various stakeholders. ఇలా 5C అప్రోచ్లో they have been saying, and the NFSC would be for 2020 to 2025. Already first one 2013 to 2018 అయిపోయింది, and it is prepared by the National Center for Financial Education. This is in consultation with all financial regulators, which are the RBI, SEBI, IRDA, and PFRDA, DFS, Department of Financial Services, and other ministries of the government. And there are also stakeholders, the DFIs, like the development intermediaries, the SROs, IBA, Insolvency Bankruptcy Agency, NPCI. All of these, they come under the technical group of financial inclusion, financial literacy. So the NFSC, it intends to support the vision of Government of India and financial regulators to develop adequate knowledge, skills, attitude and behavior which are needed to manage their money better and plan for the future. And they're saying that to achieve the vision of creating a financially aware and empowered India, certain objectives like inculcating financial literacy or through financial education, encouraging active saving behavior, and developing credit discipline, all of these become important. And there should also be usage of digital and financial services in a fair and secure manner. So nothing much from the article, but if you're talking on the whole on monetary policy or financial inclusion is actually an important aspect. ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇంక్లూజన్ మీద క్వశ్చన్స్ రెగ్యులర్లీ ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది మెయిన్స్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్లో. సో ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇంక్లూజన్లో జనరలీ వి రైట్ ద ప్రధాన్ మంత్రి జన్ధన్ యోజన ఆర్ ద బ్యాంకింగ్ కరెస్పాండెన్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో, అండ్ ఈవెన్ బిఫోర్ దట్ ద నచ్కేత్ మోర్ కమిటీ. సారీ, ఇలా నచ్కేత్ మోర్ కమిటీ, once again I'm just Nachket More Committee, you can see that. So all of these, they have focused on the financial inclusion, which is very important. And Manaki, Akkada, we should focus on the such initiatives like the NFSC ఏదైతే ఇచ్చిందో, the National Strategy for Financial Education, you can mention that. And the 5C approach, which has been done, of improving curriculum, colleges, training, developing capacity among intermediaries, positive effect of community model, communication, and collaboration. This you can mention as one line, apart from the others which we discussed. So here are some sample mains questions for you. Would the increasing would increasing the marriage age of women in India help to control the population explosion? Explain critically. This we have dealt exclusively in this video, ఆర్టికల్లో ఏదైతే ఉందో, and properly మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. So I'm sure you can write a good article on this. You should just focus on how traditionally the population explosion measures have been focused on marriage age of women, but ఇప్పుడు పరిస్థితి మారుతుంది because fertility levels are being reached. So now the focus should be on nutrition and human development. The next question is, trace the development of artificial vaccines. What are the features of Sputnik vaccine? So you should focus on what is vaccine as vaccine definition ఏంటి, and the normal modes of vaccine like the oral vaccine or the inactivated vaccines, and artificial vaccines ఎలా develop అయ్యి with the hepatitis B vaccine and the DNA technology vaccines. So our development చేస్తూ, but Sputnik vaccine features ఏంటి, like we have seen the Spark S protein కదా, the Spark S protein which we discussed of the coronavirus దాన్ని అటాక్ చేస్తుంది, and the different aspects of it, and how a genetic code we are introducing into the body. Such things should be focused on the question here. So that's it. This brings to an end our discussion of the daily Hindu newspaper analysis. And UPSC, APPSC, and even banking examinations key, this is the most important current affairs news from an examination point of view, and also NRA, which is also important for your career wise. So I hope you got good benefit from the video, and we shall meet tomorrow. But before that, please again like, share, and subscribe, and please encourage our efforts, because we are taking a lot of effort to make these articles in a good fashion మీకు అందరికి అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు. So please support us, and let's meet tomorrow. All the best, and thank you.